Hello, guys. My name is Timmy Treacle, and today I'm coming at you with my updated top 30 favorite slasher films of all time. Now, I would mention my honorable mentions, but there's just so many, I'm just going to stick with the top 30 list. So, without further ado, this is my top 30 favorite slasher movies of all time. And to note, there are some numbers that will have both the original and remake because I love them both equally, but they'll count as one number. That's how I'm doing it. So technically, there'll be more than 30, but this is my top 30 favorite slasher movies, with a couple exceptions of having both the original and remake. So, coming to number 30 is Wolf Creek from 2005. Number 29 is Cherry Falls from 2000. Number 28 is When a Stranger Calls from 2006. Number 27 is Hatchet. Good old Victor Crowley as the killer in that film, played by Kane Hodder. Number 26 is The Strangers from 2008. Number 25 is Children of the Corn from 1984. Number 24 is Psycho from 1960. Coming to number 23 is Identity from 2003. Number 22 is a remake, House of Wax from 2005. I'm probably going to get a little hate for that. I do like the original film, but I like this one just a little bit more. It's just my opinion. Coming to number 21 is a very underrated slasher film and slasher character, and that is The Dentist from 1996. Corbin Burnson is crazy. I've never ever wanted to go back to The Dentist after watching this film. Coming to number 20 is The Funhouse from 1981. Number 19 is both the original and remake. It is I Spit on Your Grave from 1978 and 2010, respectively. I give a little edge to the 2010 film, but I love both these films equally, but with the slight edge going to 2010. Number 18 is Motel Hell from 1980. Number 17 is the remake The Last House on the Left from 2009. The original 70s version is very good as well. Wes Craven does a great job. But I like this one just a little bit more. Coming to number 16, Eli Roth's Hostel. Coming to number 15 is a film I just watched a few months ago, and that is All the Boys Love Mandy Lane from 2006. Excellent slasher film and underrated in my opinion. Coming in number 14 is Child's Play 2 from 1991, I believe. Coming in number 13 is another remake, and that is The Hills Have Eyes from 2006. Again, Wes Craven, I love the originals, but I like this one just a little bit more. The sequel, not so much. I mean, it's a guilty pleasure, but that's about it. Coming in number 11 is The Candyman. Tony Todd is excellent in this film. It's a solid slasher film, and almost made my top 10. Just couldn't quite get there. I skipped over one. That was number 11. Candyman was number 12. Is The Stepfather from 1987. All right, so now we're to my top 10, and my number 10 is a film I just watched a couple days ago, and that is Maniac from 1980. This film was remade in 2012 with Elijah Wood as the lead character. I have yet to see the remake, but I always want to watch the original first before I watch the remake. And I love this film. This guy is nuts in this film. And I'm really looking forward to the remake because I like Elijah Wood. But the original is freaking awesome. Coming to number 9 is both the original and remake, and that is My Bloody Valentine, 1981 and 2009. I love both these films. I love the original because I grew up with that film. That film came out on Betamax. If you don't know what Betamax is, it is a smaller version of the VHS, and basically they're the same concept. They're both tapes, but the Betamax is smaller, and that's just the only difference with the Betamax. But this film always used to scare me, and I love it. I love its classic appeal, and with the remake, I love what they did. They changed up the story a little bit. They did a lot of new stuff with this film, the remake, and that's what I love. When you do a remake, you got to do something different. You can't just make it word for word and frame for frame the same movie. Example: Cabin Fever came out in 2002. Eli Roth. It's a great film. I think 2016 they made a remake, and it was the same exact film but with different actors, and that pissed me off. I spent $6 on that film, and it was garbage. So, if you're ever going to do a remake of a classic horror slasher film, you got to do it right. You got to do it better, or at least equal to the original. Coming number 8 is Scream. Coming number 7 is the original Black Christmas from 1974. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear this, if you haven't seen the film, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mute. You never see the killer in this film. You hear his voice, but that's what makes this film so great. When it first came out, it had negative reviews. Not a lot of people liked it. But since then, it is considered to be one of the best horror movies of all time. Definitely one of the best slasher movies of all time. But this is said to be to what got the slasher genre going, but I disagree with that. I have found some earlier films before Black Christmas that are slasher films. So I don't agree with them saying that this is the film that got the slasher genre going, but it is a great film. Definitely worth the top spot in my top 10 of this top 30 list. Coming number 6 is going to be a controversial one. I know it. I know I'm going to get some hate because I know a lot of people don't like his work, but this is my list and I really don't care. Coming to number 6 is The Devil's Rejects. I love this film. I love House of a Thousand Corpses. I really hope they make a third and final film for this trilogy, which they're in talks in doing. I love the characters, and this film, The Devil's Rejects, it's top notch in my opinion. And like I said, the way these characters treat their victims is so brutal, but it's just so good. These two films, The Devil Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses, are underrated in my opinion. But yeah, The Devil's Rejects number 6. Coming in number 5 is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974. Number 4 is Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984. And I'm also going to give a shout out to the 2010 remake. I know a lot of people don't like that one either, but I don't care. I love that film. I think Jackie Earle Haley did a great job playing Freddy Krueger. Even Robert Englund said he did a great job making it his own. And I really wish we would have got a follow-up sequel with that. And if anything, if they do another remake, I hope they use Jackie Earle Haley. He did a great job as Freddy Krueger. And even though some of the characters in that remake were kind of dull, I still love the film just because of Freddy Krueger, hands down. Oh, and it's not as good as the original. The original Nightmare on Elm Street will never be touched, but it still is a solid remake. And yeah, that's my opinion. Hate me if you want. Coming number 3 is See No Evil. Kane from WWE plays Jacob Goodnight. His relationship with his mother is weird and creepy, but his character is underrated in my opinion. I love both of the films. The second film was a direct-to-DVD release. I really wish they would have released that in theaters. I think it could have done very well at the theaters. And I'm really hoping they decide to make more films in the franchise. I love the character Jacob Goodnight. And yeah, he's number 3 on my list. Coming to number 2 is my favorite sequel in this franchise. It is my favorite movie in this franchise. And at number 2 of my top 30 favorite slasher films of all time is Friday the 13th Part 2. Now, some people don't like this sequel. Some others like the other ones. I love this sequel. This is the first film that we're introduced to Jason Voorhees. I love the fact that he has the sack on his head. To me, that is scary when you just see the one eye looking at you and coming at you. I love that. And one of my favorite scenes in the film that always gets me is when there's an officer driving down this back road, and Jason goes running across the road, and the officer goes chasing after him. Now, it is not my favorite kill when the officer, spoiler alert, takes the hammer to the back of the head. But yeah, it is a great sequel. It introduces us to Jason Voorhees, and this, in my opinion, is underrated. And I love this film, and that's why it's at number 2 on my list. And of course, number 1. If you don't know what number 1 is on my list or on a lot of people's lists, then what the hell are you doing? Number 1 is 1978's John Carpenter's Halloween. This film is perfect. I don't care what any other critics say. I've seen and heard a lot of critics about this film. Now, some of them have other opinions. They're saying that it's not a perfect film and this, that, and the other. And yeah, there are some movie mistakes. But when you have a low budget as he did, and this film turns out the way it did, how big it is, you can live with those mistakes. You know, some of the mistakes in the movie, if you haven't noticed, there's a scene where Michael is hiding behind the bush, and Laurie's friend goes to check and see if someone is there. And then when she turns to look back at Laurie, you can see a puff of smoke. And that is John Carpenter smoking a cigarette just right off camera. And also there's another shot when the two girls are walking. In the background, you'll see a guy on a porch. Well, that guy is a member of the crew who forgot to get out of the shot. And a third and noticeable one is when Laurie Strode and Tommy are walking to the Myers house. And when they're walking on the street, you look in the background, you see palm trees in California, because that's where they're shooting this film. And you see that in the background, so you know they're not in Illinois. But yeah, those are some of the few movie mistakes. But this film is flawless. It is perfect. The score, the direction, the characters. I love the characters in this film. PJ Souls, I love her. Of course, Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasance is one of my favorite horror characters of all time. And I really wish he could have done more films, but nevertheless, I'm happy with what we got. And yeah, Halloween is my number 1 favorite slasher movie of all time. And again, this list is updated for July 2nd, 2018. So it is subject to change as It now has. I have some movies that I bumped out and replaced other movies with. So, but that is my top 30 favorite slasher movies of all time. So in the comment section below, give me your thoughts and opinions on this video, and let me know what some of your favorite slasher movies of all time is. I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to read some of your comments. Let's have a discussion. I love talking about movies. I love the horror genre, special slasher films. I can talk all day about movies. I love it. And yeah, just give me your thoughts and opinions, and you'll definitely get some feedback. But other than that, I thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Check you later.